Hi, it's Lisa Cuneo and welcome to my scrapbook table. This is my layout for December's Stretch the Sketch, and here is the sketch we are stretching today. And it's from Paper Issues, but I can't see a date on the image I have. It is also my December Beautiful Blossoms design team project where we use lots of florals. And so when we do Stretch the Sketch, we take a 12 by 12 and we make it anything else. So I've made this one an 8.5 by 11. I'm using Welcome Winter by Cartabella, which I believe is from 2021. So I have some wood veneer here from Some Assemblage Required. I used this die to create some leaves that are going to add to the floral that's already on here. I'm going to put a border there at the bottom, and I have this wall hanging, a photo of this wall hanging that my mom made. And this layout is basically lots of things that remind me of her. They go with winter, but they don't necessarily go with quilting or the snowman or any of that. But I use lots of things that make me think of my mom and the decorating that she did in the wintertime. So I've cut out these leafy branch things in off-white, blue, and green, and I am putting a large cluster at the bottom. Well, no, a medium-sized cluster at the bottom and a larger one at the top. And I'm just kind of bunching them together, and I put glue behind it, and then I stick it down on the paper, and it's underneath other things, so it doesn't matter if the glue is sticking up through the top. And here I goofed. I started sticking it under the patterned paper when really I want it tucked beneath my photo mats. So I had to pick it up, and then I realized the ends were too long, so I trimmed those off and I rearranged them a little bit, and I add some more Nouveau Deluxe adhesive. And now I think I tried one more time to put them in the wrong place, and then I realized what I'm doing. I just wanted them to match what was at the bottom of the layout. Yep, I do one more time, and then I'm like, no. I haven't even remembered yet. There we go. And on top of those will go the pine cone wood veneer. My mom decorated with pine cones so much. I can remember being down south visiting my grandparents, and she would come home with a big bag full of huge pine cones, and we would make all sorts of decorations out of them. I say we. I probably wasn't much of a help, but she let me help anyway. And I'm just tucking some more layers under there. I want them to be nice and full. So the wood veneer has a coating on it that helps the wood not get burned or discolored from the machine that's being used to cut it. And so I had already peeled those off. And then this wood veneer from MK also has adhesive on the back, which is great. Since this is getting put on top of lots of layers, I added a little bit of liquid adhesive as well. And it was really necessary up at the top. In fact, you'll see in a moment that I had to put something on it with a little bit of weight and let it sit for a while so that it would glue down through all those extra layers. And there we go. That's just the backing. And this one is going to layer on top of the leaves up here. And I broke this one, but it doesn't really matter because you just piece it back together when you glue it down. And you would be really hard pressed to tell. I'm looking at it right now really closely. If you didn't know there was a break there, you would never see it. So I'm not worried about that. And now I think is when I start looking at the sticker sheet to see what else I can add. Or maybe I think about my journaling. I'm not sure. Stickers. I chose to use this wooden chair because my mom often had an old wooden chair sitting on the porch that she would put flowers on to match the season. And I decided I wanted this scallop shelf that I created at the bottom to stretch across the whole 8.5. So I just found the other piece of it and matched it up and glued it on there. And again, since there's other things sitting there, you don't notice the seam. It's fine. There we go. Now I add the chair. I love this rocking chair. These stickers are so pretty. And I have some of the leaves on top of the chair and some of the leaves underneath it. And then this is just like a mason jar of a pine bough, which were common also. Here's a sled. In the winter, there was usually an old toboggan or the like, a wooden sled on our front porch near the old chair. And then this one is like a metal container that has some winter boughs, pine boughs and pine cones in it. And then last, I have a box that says firewood that I'm going to put on here. There it is. Though I guess this isn't last. There is a little bit more. And I tuck that one right here so that all of these items in this cluster make a nice tight grouping. And I have this lantern, and I liked it because there is red in the quilted piece, the snowman that Mom made me. And there's a little bit in the sled, and I thought those little bits of red help bring out the red that's in the photo. Then I add this sticker, because this page doesn't really have a title, but I guess it could be wintertime. All right, now it's time for journaling. So here's the die I am using, and I already cut some journaling strips out of a cream colored paper using that die. I believe it's from Hero Arts, but I could be wrong. And you can type journaling in a certain format and use that to cut it out. And I have done that a few times, but more recently, I just cut the strips and write on them by hand. And I usually have extras, and I just tuck them in the little bag that the die goes in. Then sometimes I have enough for whatever I want to do next time. Now I have some wood veneer hearts that I'm adding. That one I wasn't sure where I want to put, so I just set it aside till later. And now here's what I was thinking about, that I had to put something with a little bit of weight on it to hold down this little heart, because it just kept popping up as I moved my finger. So I have this wooden block on my desk here that says, "But first pray." So I use that, and I put the glue bottle that's nearly full on top of there. Okay, so now I'm going to stick down the journaling strips. I use Creative Memories temporary adhesive to do that, because that way it holds them still, but I can move them around as I need to. And I do end up having to move these just a little bit closer together eventually. But it worked nicely. And then sometimes if I feel like they're not sticking well enough, I do go back and add adhesive under there. But this time they seem like they're going to stay. And I just wrote, "I'm not sure when Mom made this wall hanging for me, but I'd guess it's 20 years old or more. For several years, it hung in my classroom, but now it hangs in our house for a few months in the winter. Seeing it brings back sweet memories of Mom." And one reason I really like it is that it's not necessarily a Christmas decoration, it's just wintertime. So there we go. The still shots are coming up. Thank you so much for joining me. I do really appreciate my viewers and my subscribers. If you haven't subscribed, I would love to have you. And if you are a subscriber, thank you so much. I really appreciate your being here and watching my videos, and I would love to hear from you in the comments, so please do so. There will also be a link for others taking part in Stretch the Sketch. Have a great day, and goodbye.